Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Ohayocon 2020 with my pals, Sewn Together Reflections. How you ladies doing together? I'll let you introduce yourselves.
Hi. No, I'm kidding. Hi, I'm Brianna Lawrence. I go by Bree Chibi Cosplays.
And I'm Jessica Walsh. I also go by Snow or Snow Cosplays.
Alrighty, so just so we get kind of starting, how did both of you ladies get started in the world of writing and cosplay? Who wants to go first?
You do. You go first.
I'm her anime dealer.
Yes, very much so.
We met writing fan fiction together, and our first time meeting in person was at a convention, and we just kind of never stopped going. And now it's just part of our lives.
Like, I've been into anime since I was like 10, and then when we started dating, she introduced me to more anime, and now it's a problem. We met on the fan fiction side in 2001, and then we met in person in 2002, and we've been together ever since. And now the anime love. Once you move in together with all your anime stuff, your whole house becomes anime and video games and comics. So it's just been like 18 years of nerdiness. Yep.
Well, it sounds like you guys have a wonderful relationship. Before we can go too far, congrats on getting married in September. Congratulations. How joyful was it in that event last fall? Hey, that's a fun question that got added. I didn't even know that, so congratulations.
So we were together for 18 years before we got married. When LGBT marriage got legalized, we were kind of like in this position of we never thought we'd be able to.
Yeah.
And then when it became legal, we were like, well, we haven't saved for a wedding because we didn't think we were going to ever have one. So in 2018, some friends of ours were like, we got you guys a wedding gift. And we're like, we don't have a date. And they were like, well, it's an Alaskan cruise. And we were like, okay. And we were looking around the area, and 15 minutes away was an LGBT shotgun wedding place.
So we eloped right before the cruise.
We went to Seattle. My mom and my nephew were there, and like a handful of friends. We actually dressed up as Bakugo and Deku from My Hero Academia. She made the dresses. She's been telling everyone at the con, so I guess I have to say it. And we got married, and then the next day we went on a cruise for a week.
Because we're absolute nerds.
It was amazing. People keep asking if it feels any differently because we were together for so long, and I was like, you know what, it actually does.
Yeah.
Like,
because now taxes are different.
Yeah, they will be. We haven't got there yet. But people will be like, oh yeah, you're here at your wife, and I'm like, my wife.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is different.
Yeah.
You basically said
Did I say everything?
Going to.
Yes. I beat you to everything.
Alrighty, now, and tell us about the entire, okay, you guys built it all from fandom. What was the one key fandom that like brought it really true together?
Gundam Wing.
We met on a Gundam Wing yaoi mailing list for writing fan fiction, and so that's what started it.
It was Gundam, then Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho, and then I might have distributed fan subs to a bunch of the mailing list of actual yaoi anime and
Gravitation
and everything else.
Because it wasn't licensed here.
Yeah.
Utena.
Utena's another good one I could see.
Black Butler was later.
Yep.
It's currently My Hero Academia and Promare.
Mm-hmm. And Given.
Yeah. But Gundam Wing started it all.
Yep.
That was our very first, like, and then she introduced me to everything else.
Rena has a new book release called, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You have a new book released called Magnifique Noir Book 2, correct?
Magnifique Noir.
No, I'm butchering everything. I'm sorry.
Sunday at a con. It's Sunday at a con.
So tell us about your book and how did it go?
So this is the first book. And then the second book, I don't have enough hands to grab the second book. You should grab the second book. So it's been going really well. I actually just released on Friday.
Wow.
We've been promoting it since the first one came out in 2017. And it's been going great. It's my take on the magical girl genre. It's an all black queer cast of women who have different superpowers based on like their occupations. So one girl's a baker, so she throws exploding cupcakes. One girl's a gamer, so she throws pixels. One's a kickboxer, so she kicks rainbows. And one's a seamstress, since I don't do my own sewing and my wife does, I ask her about sewing terminology so I can get all the...
Just make it up, I'll fix it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.
Don't use sewing scissors unless it's for sewing.
Yeah, I actually know that one because
They're labeled in Sharpie at home.
They are labeled. All of them are labeled, or I get in trouble. But it's an illustrated novel, so I partnered with like 15 to 20 different artists.
Wow.
And there's illustrations all throughout the book to like illustrate the story as I'm telling it. And it's been great. Like I said, the second book came out Friday. Yeah, so I've been promoting that while at the con, and the con's actually been promoting it too, which is amazing. Like I didn't expect them to retweet it. Every time I tweet about it, they retweet it.
We're friends with social media chat.
Oh, okay. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. And so it's been a really great weekend to release the book, and the whole year is just gonna be promoting the second one. There's 2 more books after this, so I already have it all outlined and finished. Good. So I'll start writing the third one probably for NaNoWriMo this month or in November. And I think that's all I got about the book.
Well, it sounds like fans can obviously love it. So trying to keep this brief, but you guys said you have a love for My Hero Academia.
It's not going to be brief.
But just give me a quick overview. How are you guys feeling about season 4 and the fact that the news dropped that the second movie is coming out in February?
Oh my god. Okay. I feel like I showed more excitement for that than the book, which is bad. But so I actually, because we're guests at the con, so I woke up early enough yesterday to watch the new episode, and which was great. And then the movie comes out next month. But I've been in love with the series since last year. That's when I found it. It's funny, we were guests at a con with 2018. It's 2020 right now. So 2018, I discovered the series because we were guests at a con with Yaya Han.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, all the guests are going to get together and watch My Hero Academia. And I was like, what's that? And she was like, sit down and watch it. And then I made the mistake of sitting down and watching it. And then a month later, I was caught up.
And then I was caught up when she rewatched it.
Yeah.
So this year, she designed it, and hopefully I should be making it a ball gown version of All Might.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be the. Sorry, but I absolutely love the series. I love the storytelling. I love the characters. I just love the idea of this kid who had a dream to become a hero.
Yeah.
And he gets the power, but it's too much. So he actually has to learn how to use it.
Control it.
Yeah, and it's like you have the power of God, but it will kill you. So now you have to like figure out how to use it. And I love all the side characters. I love Bakugo and his arc. I love everybody. I love everything about the show. Season 4 has been great. I really like the villain in that one. I love Mirio, which means my heart is broken right now, but that's okay. Then I got you into it, and
You pretty much covered.
am I covering all of it? Okay, I'm like, you can talk too.
Brief, so.
Yeah. Briefly, I love My Hero Academia. I write fic for it. Please don't look for my AO3 handle.
Alrighty, talking about fanfic, you guys have been part of the part of fanfiction writers, and then moved into the more serious issues with the community. How's it been going for both of you? The fanfiction actually kind of deals with a lot of serious political and social issues. What's it like when you guys are able to make sure that there's a message even in fanfiction?
Ooh. Sounds like you have an answer.
No. It just kind of works into there. It's more fun to write about current things in fandom, but like, I'm gonna flip over words.
That's okay.
Translating actual current things into fandom so it's not as heavy to deal with, and just enjoying it at the same time. Things like that.
I feel like pop culture does that anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you can see like social issues in different anime and comics and stuff, but it's with superheroes and superpowers, and like one of the examples we use is Young Avengers.
Yeah.
And there's like a queer couple, but their struggle isn't being queer, it's being superheroes and stuff.
Than just being queer.
Yeah, or like, stuff like X-Men and stuff like that. It's like, obviously it's about cultural. Yeah.
It's an allegory for the civil
but
rights movement
yeah,
in the 70s.
but they're superheroes, and people are like, cool, superheroes, let's watch superheroes, and then you learn while you're watching the heroes. And
Like, this is about blatant racism.
yeah, exactly. And with fanfic, at least for me, and I've said it at different panels like during the weekend, fanfic was my one positive queer thing when I was coming out, when I was a kid. Or not kid, I was a teen, I was 18. But it was 2001, so there wasn't a lot of great representation for queer people, especially queer people of color, but there's at least fandom and a bunch of people writing queer content, whether it was like canon or not. And it's like, well, at least in this space, I know you guys are cool with queer stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot more supportive.
So that's basically what we used fanfic for.
So you both love to do wonderful couple cosplays. Which one was the hardest one to do, and which one was the funnest to do?
Okay, so I make all of our costumes. A lot of times now she'll actually design them, and then I'll turn it into a costume for her. Okay. I don't know. The hardest one to make was probably the Carmen one.
Oh, the Persona 5.
Persona 5, and just the details and layers of it. The one that took maybe the longest would be the Rainbow Bright one I made, where it's actually this huge rainbow skirt of all quilted squares. Nice. And she had actually designed it, and I was like, can I make it in patterns? And she didn't think so. And I was like, just trust me.
It was all scrap fabric from our basement. So
reuse, reduce, and recycle.
What was the most fun one though?
The most fun one, I like the ones I get to paint on or mess around with, or things like this where it's just something more simple but it works really well, and you tend to wear it all the time.
I'm liking this right now.
It's Sunday and I'm tired, so I'm just gonna be comfortable today.
I mean, I'm liking all the dresses here. So you guys love, as we discussed, Gundam Wing and Resident Evil, and that's what kind of drew you guys together. Guilty pleasure is I actually have the Right Stuff limited edition box set that was released. Yeah, I spent $200 on that. So
we have like the box from X 1999 when Guineon still had it, and it's like
the velvet cover.
Yeah, it was so expensive, and then like Suncoast closed and Guineon disappeared, and I was like, okay, I own that now.
Yeah. So what about it drew you guys together?
Just about anime in particular, or
Gundam Wing and Resident Evil.
Oh right, the crossover fit.
So we just decided, since we met on the mailing list writing fanfic together, we decided to write one together for the heck of it. And I share it every year on our anniversary, which she hates, but it's still up there on fanfiction.net.
It is. Don't look for
And
it.
we just basically like, what would happen if, the T-virus was in space, and having, I think Hero contracted it, or Duo contracted it.
Got a death, so that makes sense.
Katra tries to pet a zombie dog, and it doesn't work very well. And just every trope we could think of that was fun.
And Resident Evil was like one of the game series that we both liked.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm a huge gamer, and she games occasionally, but Resident Evil was like her zombie series of choice. And I think around the time maybe the movies were coming out. Not that early, but you were. Oh, I remember, because I came over to your place, and you were playing the first one, and you and your roommate were stuck fighting the tyrant, and I like grabbed the controller and like beat him.
That's a tough fight, yeah.
Yeah, and you actually beat like Resident Evil 3 in like a day at my house, because we didn't go to bed. And
Nice.
So Resident Evil was like our game series of choice, and so we're like, what if we put Gundams in it? Is that gonna be? Oh, let's do it and figure out what happens.
Alrighty, now you both seek to give a voice to the LGBT community. How important it is to have that representation in media going forward in this next decade?
Ooh, I'll let you start.
It needs to be everywhere. So I mean, we purposely have all of our books have queer characters. We're queer. We're very noticeable about it, and just to let people know that there are safe spaces where they can be themselves, and you don't have to hide it. But if you do have to be in the closet, you can still enjoy parts of the queer community, and until you're comfortable enough or able to come out.
And like I was saying earlier, like when I was coming out, there wasn't a lot of representation. Mm-hmm. So I like to think like, I'm in my 30s now, and we're getting better representation. And it's like, I kind of wish that like when I was 18 that I had that.
Yeah.
Like, we did a panel, and it's like, I can't imagine what life would have been like if I were 18 and Steven Universe existed. But it didn't. I had like nothing. So I went to fanfic. But it's like just one good represented show when I was coming out, I wouldn't have been so scared to do it, because I freaked out. Like
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and I was terrified, and I didn't think I could. And stuff like fanfic, and even like going to conventions and seeing kids wearing like the buttons and like wearing the flags like capes. It's like, okay, I know that like this is a space where it's okay to be yourself.
And we've run into quite a few people at our table who will like pick up a book and actually ask, is this character trans? Because my child is looking for a book like this. Yeah. Or, hey, this character actually made me feel okay about coming out and things like that. It's so important to have representation and to make it available to everyone.
I think it's a positive message, and I've learned a lot myself personally, being in the community myself. I mean, I grew up in a very small-minded town where it wasn't really talked about. It was like, very quiet, kept it very in the dark, and it wasn't brought up in my school at all. And so, the stigmatism, I did theater. That was a stigmatism that if you're a guy, that you were LGBT. I did have a colleague who was the only other male with me on my crew. And it was really, really powerful because I learned a little bit about that community with him. And then through this community, I've learned more and more and more and more. So it's really wonderful. Now, kind of wrapping things up, are there any upcoming projects you want fans to know about that aren't behind an NDA wall?
Oh, well, we have the All Might ball gown.
Yep. We still have, like she said, she has a third book planned here. We have a third book coming from our urban fantasy series that hopefully should be out. Hopefully this year. I try and finish it. We're always writing more stuff. You're in a couple zines.
Yeah, I'm in 1, 2, 3 fandom zines, all My Hero Academia related, and just various articles. I'm writing a piece for 28 Days of Black Cosplay next month.
Cool.
The book series, and just new pieces of art. We're gonna try and have new queer merch at our booth hopefully this year. So yeah, it's just constantly working.
Always making more stuff.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so with fans to know about, where can we find you online so we can keep up with all your wonderful projects? And then what message would you love to give to the fans that are going to be able to potentially watch this?
You start.
What? You can find all of our stuff at either sewntogetherreflections.com or magnifiquenoir.com. We have basically social media everywhere, and there's links to almost every platform on there for all of our stuff and things.
I'm very active on Twitter, so Bree TV tweets on Twitter. I have Bree TV Cosplays on Facebook. We have 2 conventions coming up, NakaCon and Planet Comic-Con. Yep. And they are back-to-back weekends in the same area of Kansas. Yep. So we'll be there for like a whole week and a half. Otherwise, I think that's like the best way to find us, and that's where we post we'll post our convention schedule, any books coming out.
We do have a Patreon as well. It's patreon.com/sewn together. And we have an Etsy store. So yeah, all of the links are on the websites.
Any message you'd like to give to the fans?
I'm thinking.
A message to give to the fans. Keep going. Keep trying. The things we do are this is the most fun job I've ever had, but also really stressful. But keep at it. If you're really passionate about it, just keep going. And if you're scared to come out, it's okay, because if you watch other people within the community, that can inspire you to be comfortable with yourself.
Hi, I came up with one.
Sweet.
Don't be afraid to be yourself.
Yes.
In pretty much all aspects, and remember that everyone is themselves in their own time. So just because someone is faster than you at coming out or realizing something, take your own time to do it. It's okay. It's not a race.
Yes, exactly.
Again, ladies, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's wonderful to meet you both.
Bye.